this edition of UCF Sports Night, Senior Leadership, we visit with volleyball's Aaron Campbell and Andy Youngblood. Plus, the men's soccer team is getting ready for conference play. We check in with Coach Brian Cunningham. That and plenty more next on UCF Sports Night.
UCF Sports Night is brought to you by UCF TV.
Hello and welcome once again to UCF Sports Night. I'm Jeff Sharon. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We've got a big show for you today, including a look at Andy Youngblood and Aaron Campbell. They're the only two seniors on the UCF volleyball team, and they've really become the leaders of that team as well. But first, let's take a look at the action in all UCF sports for this week, starting with the volleyball team as they took on their rivals from USF in front of a huge crowd at the venue. Let's take a look at the highlights. A record crowd on hand at the venue to see the volleyball Knights face the Bulls. 1,603 people packed the venue to see the match. And they were treated to a solid performance by UCF as the Knights got double-digit kills from 3 players. Aaron Campbell led the way with 16. Also, Kristen Fisher tallied 12 and Evia Vilde with 10 kills. Sarah Rex finished with 8 kills and a .667 hitting percentage for the match. The Knights had the lead in all 3 sets, but USF came back and won all 3. Final score 25-23, 25-23, 25-23. So a closer match than initially looks at first glance. But still, the Knights fall to 8-3 on the season. Still, they had lots to build on heading into conference play.
You know, I thought it was a pretty tightly contested match. I think anytime you see a bunch of 25s and a bunch of 23s, really, all that is, that's one swing. That's just one swing. That's one play difference.
Back to action for the Knights on Friday for day 1 of the Radisson UCF Classic as the Knights began conference play against Southern Miss. And it was a thriller. Down 0-2, the Knights fight back and take the 3rd set 33-31. The Knights would then force a 5th set, but then Southern Miss wrapped things up 15-11 in the final frame. Aaron Campbell and Kristen Fisher both posted double-doubles, and Evia Vilde added 16 kills, 7 digs, and 5 blocks. Later that same night, men's soccer took on Houston Baptist in their first game of the UCF Fall Classic, and this was a tough and fast Husky team that the Knights faced at the soccer complex. They took a 2-0 lead late into the second half. But then Gianni Piccoletti got free to put the Knights on the board here with a little over 8 minutes left. But despite a 16-6 advantage in shots on goal, the Knights would fall to Houston Baptist by a final score of 2-1. Meanwhile, on the road, women's soccer faced their 4th top 15 opponent this season as they headed up to South Carolina. The Knights came out on the short end of this one, though, despite outshooting Carolina 9-1 in the second half. UCF is now 5-2-1 on the season. Meanwhile, up in Gainesville, the cross-country team posted a solid outing at the Mountain Dew Invitational, finishing in 5th place out of 23 teams in attendance. 2 Knights, Jamie Rispecki and Ocean Cohen, finished in the top 20 individually. Back home at the venue, day 2 of the Radisson UCF Classic, the Knights took on Florida International. Aaron Campbell led UCF with 9 kills in this match, and Evia Vilde chipped in with another 8. Also on defense, Meredith Murphy tallied 15 digs, making it 10 matches in a row with double-digit digs for her. However, FIU was very good throughout, and they defeat the Knights in 3. Later that same night at Bright House Network Stadium, the football Knights took on defending MAC champion Buffalo. And it was Brett Hodges who again led the way for UCF, going 15 of 20 for 141 yards, including this long completion to Kamar Aiken. Down 17-7 at the half, UCF came storming back, forcing 4 turnovers in the second half and shutting out the Bulls. Final score, UCF 23, Buffalo 17. Sunday volleyball action at the venue as UCF took on another tough in-state opponent. This time it was the Rattlers of Florida A&M coming to town. This one was a dandy. The Knights took the lead after 1, then FAMU fought back, and then the Knights responded to force a 5th set. Aaron Campbell led the Knights with 19 kills. Kristen Fisher added 16 kills and 16 digs. They were helped out by 19 digs from Meredith Murphy and 51 assists from Andy Youngblood. But the 5th set would be the Knights' Waterloo in this one against the Rattlers, as UCF falls 3-2. Meanwhile, just outside at the soccer complex, men's soccer took on Manhattan in the final game of the UCF Fall Classic. The Knights got hit up early for a goal by the Jaspers, but UCF would come back. In the 30th minute, corner kick from Brian Robeson here. He gets a favorable bounce, and his fellow New Zealander, Ben Hunt, is there to stick it in the back of the net, tying the game at 1. It would remain that way until the 56th minute, when Robeson would get an opportunity of his own. He gets the pass from Eduardo Jimenez and finds himself all alone. What a move to beat the keeper, and he scores his 2nd goal of the season, and that would prove to be the difference as the Knights get past Manhattan to finish the weekend on a positive note, 2-1.
And we just talked about it at halftime that the keeper was overcommitting, so I kind of faked the shot, went around, and then just laid it in.
Right, we talked to the players about being resilient and coming out today and bringing our lunch pail to work, if you will, and it's going to require a lot of hard work today dealing with a very feisty Manhattan team who obviously didn't want to come down here and lose 2 games.
And for more news, scores, and information on all UCF sports, all you have to do is log on to UCFathletics.com, your online home for UCF sports. Don't go away. Coming up next here on UCF Sports Night, they're the only 2 seniors on the volleyball team's roster, but they've led the team to its best start in quite a long time. We'll visit with Andy Youngblood and Aaron Campbell when UCF Sports Night returns. Fans, check out the 17th ranked women's soccer team in their first weekend of home conference action when they take on UAB on Friday and Memphis on Sunday. More information at 407 UCF 1000 and at UCFathletics.com.
The new UCF College of Medicine will help Florida get all the doctors it needs. But until then, be extra careful. UCF stands for opportunity.
When JetBlue chose Orlando for its new flight training center, the presence of UCF strongly influenced their decision. The results? An investment of $160 million and 150 new jobs. UCF stands for opportunity.
Hey Orlando, it's time to get away with your UCF Knights. You won't want to miss a minute of the action in Bright House Network Stadium this season. Single game tickets are on sale now. Don't be left out. Armor up, Knights fans. Call 407-823-1000 or log on to UCFathletics.com for your tickets today.
Welcome back to UCF Sports Night. Aaron Campbell and Andy Youngblood are the only 2 seniors on UCF's volleyball roster this year. And so far, they've led the team to a solid start in 2009, but it hasn't been easy. They've taken on the task of leading 8 new players into action, including 7 freshmen. They've learned quite a bit in their time here at UCF, and they hope to make good on their last chance to win a conference championship. Here now, a closer look at Andy Youngblood and Aaron Campbell in our Sports Night Spotlight.
What it's like knowing that this is my last year, it just makes things more valuable. You know, every day when we go into practice and whatnot, you really want to go in every day to get better and to make things better, whether it's rules, how drills are run, how the other players are doing, stuff like that. You really focus on how time-sensitive everything kind of is, and you try not to take it for granted.
You know, I want us to have a program that's successful after we're gone, and I want it to be a classy program. Like, I hope that everyone below us wants those same things. So we're just doing the best we can to, you know, show them what we know.
We really wanted to talk about bringing the freshmen in and having them feel comfortable being in our system, whether it's relationships off the court, stuff on the court, academic-wise. That was something that we really focused on when we had our meetings with Todd, is to, you know, make sure that they come in with the least amount of anxiety that they could. Andy and I are best friends. We call each other partners in crime because we literally do everything together.
I can honestly say that me and Erin off the court are best friends, and she'll probably be in my wedding. You know, her and some of the other girls on the team are definitely the friends that probably stick longest.
I'm going to hold on to Andy's friendship for the rest of my life, and she's just a great person to have around. She really does bring out the best in people, and I love that about her.
Erin's kind of that like the fire on the court for us, I think. You know, she's more vocal, and she's the one that like a lot of people look to, and she's a really good communicator in general.
Andy is the kind of leader that leads by example. So she will be running after balls on the court all the time, you know, having perfect digs, doing those kinds of things so that people see that about her, and then they're like, okay, well, I want to be perfect for Andy. You know, I want to do these certain things so that Andy doesn't have to work so hard next time or something like that. And I think that that's kind of ridiculous.
My hopes for this season are to continue building the foundation that we started last year, and I just want to leave this group the drive to keep it going, because I want to be able to come back and see them moving farther than I ever dreamed we could go, and I really think that they're going to do it someday. I'd love to look back on my experience and say that I was a part of the beginning.
What I will miss the most about UCF is everything. There's not one thing I'll specifically miss. Of course I'm going to miss the relationships that I've made, and you know, the great experience of playing for UCF on my jersey and stuff, but at the end of the day, it's just the whole experience. We've both matured so much from the last 4 years, and we've grown together, and that's something that's really, really valuable.
Well, after a busy week here on campus, the volleyball team now heads out on the road to start conference play. For more information on Andy, Erin, and the team, just visit UCFathletics.com. Don't go away. Coming up next, we'll have a look at men's soccer. They're also getting ready to start conference play, and we sit down with their head coach, Brian Cunningham, when UCF Sports Night returns. Fans, get the best in-depth features on UCF in the all-new Knights Insider by award-winning writer John Denton. You can sign up to receive every Insider column in your email inbox at UCFathletics.com.
So in 1975, the United States ranked 3rd in the world in percentage. Must be the new guy. Guess you can say I was with you guys the whole time. New guy.
UCF and the Central Florida Research Park have helped create 41,000 jobs and contributed about $3.3 billion to the regional economy.
3, and that's only new girl.
So if it seems like your company's growing, it probably is. UCF stands for opportunity.
Hey, Knight fans, check out all the latest UCF action on UCF Sports Night. Join us as we recap all the highlights of the week from every UCF sport, plus all the features and interviews that take you inside the world of UCF athletics. If it's UCF sports, it's on UCF Sports Night. You can catch UCF Sports Night all season long on UCF TV and also on Bright House Sports Network and Sun Sports. Check your local listings for details.
Game day getaway. Hey Orlando, it's time to get away with your UCF Knights. You won't want to miss a minute of the action in Bright House Network Stadium this season. Single game tickets are on sale now. Don't be left out. Armor up, Knights fans. Call 407-823-1000 or log on to UCFathletics.com for your tickets today.
Welcome back to UCF Sports Night. We're going to talk a little men's soccer now with Coach Brian Cunningham in the last of our fall previews. Coach, how are you doing?
Doing great so far. We got a great group of guys in, and we're really excited about our direction this season.
All right, things have gotten off to a pretty good start for you guys. How is the season in general going so far, according to your plan?
Yeah, we're progressing very well. We're still very young, but we're a mature young team, if that makes any sense. We got a lot of good leadership, a lot of good components, and a lot of guys fulfilling some good roles for us right now.
A lot of differences on the roster between this year and last year. A bunch of new guys, especially it starts in goal. You have the same first name back there, but a different guy. Sean Doyle takes over for Sean Johnson. How well is he adjusted to being the keeper now?
Yeah, we were very fortunate that Sean was around a lot this summer, so we got to interact with him, and he came into preseason very fit and ready to kind of accept that starting role. And we actually have, a few new faces in front of him as well, defending. And they've all bought into our system, and they're all very confident in Sean's ability, and he's very confident in the group in front of him's ability as well.
Yeah, nice segue, actually, into my next question. I was going to ask you about the defenders in front of him. You have, a little bit of movement, a couple new guys coming in, but it's always key to have those guys in front of your keeper, keeping the ball out of play, because, as you know, the game can turn on just a bounce here or there.
Yeah, and we're fortunate that 3 guys playing in front of them all have national team experience, 1 with the U.S. national team and 2 from the New Zealand national team. So they're very confident in their abilities, and they've done a tremendous job thus far this season.
Offensively, again, a lot of production has gone away from last year, but you do bring quite a bit of production back as well.
Yeah, and we're off to a great start. In fact, within the conference, statistically, we ranked 1st or 2nd in every offensive category, which was a big change from last year. And that's really a tribute to the guys buying into the system and a few more creative attacking players that we've added to the mix. And we're scoring goals and we're creating a lot of chances, which is a good start.
As you look ahead at what you have coming up this year, we're getting ready to go into conference play. Things are starting to shake out with the team a little bit. Who is the leader of this team?
Yeah, Yaron Backer has come on very strongly here, not just as a player, but as a leader, and keeps our guys in check and keeps our team spirit very high, which is very important because we do have a lot of young players and we do have a very big roster, and not everybody gets to play, and the team as a whole is very in tune with what we're doing, and we're real excited to go to Memphis next weekend and hopefully get off to a great start.
I remember last year, we talked a couple times throughout the course of the year, and one of the things that you talked about was that, injuries were real. You guys kind of caught the injury bug pretty bad last year. How much of a benefit is it now knowing that you have a much more healthy complement of players on your roster that you can pull from?
It's been big. We had a great off season with our strength and conditioning coach, and now this year we've really implemented a great strength and conditioning program that we're sticking to, and we've added a lot of depth, and that's really helped keep guys healthy, in fact, but at the same time, guys can come in and come out of the lineup, and we don't miss a beat.
Last question for you. What are your goals for the team this season? When the season comes to an end, what do you hope this team accomplishes?
I mean, the team, we sat down as a group, and the goal is we want to get in the NCAA tournament, and there's 2 ways to do that. You have to have a strong RPI and a strong, record in your non-conference schedule, or you got to go win the conference tournament, and those are both our kind of goals combined together in order to get to that NCAA tournament where anything can happen.
As you look ahead to the conference schedule, who are some of the teams that you want to look out for?
Yeah, almost everybody. I mean, we've got a good home slate where we have, South Carolina at home, Kentucky at home, and Tulsa at home this year, which is huge. But, we have to go on the road to SMU, which is going to be tough. And with a young team, hopefully we can get our feet early and get our footing, and then that way we can kind of make a good push to make it to the Final Four, if you will, for the conference tournament.
And it starts right away with Memphis coming up on Saturday. Head coach Brian Cunningham, UCF men's soccer. Thank you so much for stopping by. We'll see you again later on in the season.
Thank you.
All right, stick around. Coming up next here on UCF Sports Night, we'll wrap things up. We've got some news and notes from the women's soccer team and also some plays of the week for you. Stick around. UCF Sports Night returns in a moment. Fan season tickets for the men's and women's basketball teams are available now. More information at 407 UCF 1000 or at UCFathletics.com.
Game day getaway. Hey Orlando, it's time to get away with your UCF Knights. You won't want to miss a minute of the action in Bright House Network Stadium this season. Single game tickets are on sale now. Don't be left out. Armor up, Knights fans. Call 407-823-1000 or log on to UCFathletics.com for your tickets today. Are you an active fan or an interactive fan? Just because you aren't screaming from your seat doesn't mean thousands of people can't hear you. These days, it's easier than ever to be heard. Conference USA encourages its fans to send the right message and be kind online.
Hey, Knight fans, check out all the latest UCF action on UCF Sports Night. Join us as we recap all the highlights of the week from every UCF sport, plus all the features and interviews that take you inside the world of UCF athletics. If it's UCF sports, it's on UCF Sports Night. You can catch UCF Sports Night all season long on UCF TV and also on Bright House Sports Network and Sun Sports. Check your local listings for details. Welcome back to UCF Sports Night. We'll get to our plays of the week in a moment, but first we've got some women's soccer news for you in our news and notes. Thanks to their blazing start, the women's soccer team has moved into the national top 25. The Knights are up as high as 17th in the country this week in 3 national polls, thanks to going 2-1 against top 10 teams this season with wins against Duke and Florida State. UCF is also ranked 2nd in the Central region by the National Soccer Coaches Association of America. Also, Alinny Reyes and Courtney Whidden are taking home some hardware this week. Both players swept the Conference USA Awards, as well as getting named to CollegeSoccer360.com's Primetime Performers of the Week. Reyes was also named National Player of the Week by the National Soccer Coaches Association of America. It's just the 2nd time a Knight has taken that award. Reyes is the first Knight to be named National Player of the Week by the coaches since Roberta Pellerigo back in 2006. Reyes was also named the Bright House Student Athlete of the Week for her shutout performances against Florida State and USF. And big news from the baseball team. Collegiate Baseball Newspaper has named UCF's new recruiting class the 4th best in the nation. That's the highest ranked recruiting class in school history. Head coach Terry Rooney and recruiting coordinator and assistant coach Cliff Godwin signed 21 new players this summer, including 10 from junior colleges. Coach Rooney and his Knights begin fall ball on October 1st. Time now for our Sports Night plays of the week. Play number 3, football against Buffalo. Second half, Brett Hodges caught fire. Here he finds Kamar Aiken deep, who hauls in this bomb. A beautiful leaning catch by Kamar. And that helped the Knights tame the Bulls 23-17. Play number 2 goes to Sarah Rex of the volleyball team. She got her money's worth on this play against FIU. Not just 1 block with Andy Youngblood, but 2 on consecutive swings, and the Knights get the point against the Golden Panthers. But play number 1 belongs to Nick Ropes, and you want to talk about moves on a breakaway. Watch this against Manhattan as he pulls the okey-doke on the Manhattan keeper and sticks that one in the back of the net for the game winner against the Jaspers. UCF goes on to win their final game of the UCF Fall Classic over Manhattan. And those are your Sports Night plays of the week. Lots of UCF teams on the road in the week ahead. It starts with the men's soccer team heading down to Boca Raton on Wednesday to face FAU. Things get underway down there at 7 p.m. On Friday, the 17th ranked women's soccer team begins conference play by taking on UAB at the UCF Soccer Complex. Kickoff is at 7 p.m. and you can see the game live on UCFathletics.com. Elsewhere, the volleyball team has their first road conference match in Greenville, North Carolina against East Carolina. First serve there is at 7 p.m. Also, women's tennis starts their fall schedule up in Gainesville at the Gator Fall Classic. That goes Friday through Sunday. And women's golf has their second fall tournament in Lexington, Kentucky at the Betty Lou Evans Fall Invitational. That goes Friday through Sunday as well. On Saturday, the football team is up in Greenville to face East Carolina. Kickoff there is at 3:30 p.m., and you can see the action live on Bright House Sports Network and hear it on 740 The Game. Men's soccer is also on the road in Memphis, Tennessee. They face the Tigers at 8 p.m. There is one event at home. Cross Country has their last on-campus event, the Night Attack Challenge. Things get underway over by the softball complex at 8:30 a.m. On-campus action on Sunday, women's soccer takes on Memphis in another conference matchup. Kickoff there is at 1 p.m. And the volleyball team wraps up their road weekend in Huntington, taking on Marshall. First serve is at 2 p.m. On the air, tune in for the George O'Leary Call-In Show, presented by Buffalo Wild Wings. Join the coach and Mark Daniels as they talk UCF football every Thursday, live from Buffalo Wild Wings in Waterford Lakes. You can hear the show on the Knight's flagship station, 740 The Game, or on UCFathletics.com. Also, tune in to WESH 2 every Sunday at noon for UCF Sports Today with Coach George O'Leary, presented by Holler Classic. Join Coach and Pat Clark for insight, analysis, and in-depth features. Again, Sundays at noon on WESH 2 and also on Bright House Sports Network, UCF TV, and Sun Sports. And a reminder, you can catch UCF Sports Night every Tuesday at 8 p.m. on UCF TV. The show also airs on Sun Sports and Bright House Sports Network. Check your local listings for details. And for more information on all UCF sports anytime you want, log on to UCFathletics.com, your online home for UCF sports. And if you want to catch this episode one more time, or you want to see any of our archived episodes of UCF Sports Night, you can anytime you want on your computer. All you've got to do is log on to www.ucf.tv. Well, that will do it for us for this week. We'll catch you again next week here on UCF Sports Night. For all of us here at UCF Athletics and UCF TV, I'm Jeff Sharon saying thanks for watching and go Knights!
Hey, this is LT from 101.1 WJRR. You're listening to the best sounds of area music. UCF Athletics, Access Magazine, and WJRR are proud to support local artists. You can find more great artists by going online at www.wjrr.com and also accessmag.com, and by listening to Native Noise each and every Sunday at 11 o'clock.
UCF Sports Night is brought to you by UCF TV.